Good evening. Welcome to Bakersfield Speedway, California Raceway Video. Here, your host, Mike Mosier, the race doctor, August 12th, 1995. Pit side right now. A whole lot of cars coming into the pits. Pre-race time, obviously. And on the card here tonight, we have the modified streets, the IMCA modifieds, the hobby division, and the late models. All kinds of activity last week. A lot of great points chases, and one of those great points chases is my partner and yours, Jumpin' Jim Deedy. How you doing, Jumpin' Jim?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Of course, Jim Deedy riding in the hobby division, that black Oldsmobile, the green number 66. And I looked on the old points chart, and you're up there and tied for first place with 942 points with Speedy Steve Cargill. What's that feel like?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I'm having a good time out here. I'm just out here to have fun. I'm not really a camera person either.
Well, that's okay. I tell you what, I can tell you're having fun out there. You know, you've steadily all year progressed. You've been moving up in the point standings. And if you take that as just having fun, well, you were very, very successful. I know we were teasing a little bit earlier during the year that this car was not an Oldsmobile. Then for, of course, the race director, you planted a big old white sign on the back, Oldsmo Bubble.
Somebody had to. You had to set you straight.
Well, I know. That's a pretty big issue at the point here, too. Of course, you know, tonight is Sun Valley Castor Oil Night, Advanced Beverage Night. We got all kinds of sponsors and giveaways out there. Your sponsors for 1995, Jumpin' Jim. Who do you have on your car campaign for 95?
I've got You Pick, You Save, Al's Radiator and Automotive. He does all my radiator work, and Oildale Automotive, too. And if it hadn't been for them guys, I probably wouldn't be out here tonight. And the guy that I pretty much have to credit for helping me out on the car is Tom Thompson. He's the one that did a lot of work with me to get the car going.
Tommy Thompson. Now, what are you running for a power plant under your hood?
It's a 350 Oldsmobile stock, come out of my dad's. Well, this is my dad's, my stepdad's work car.
His work car. Does he get to work fast or what?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Yeah, it used to be a salesman's car, and he ended up putting this engine in it, rebuilt engine, and that's all I've got in it. That's all it is.
Well, I'll tell you what has been your secret of success for 95 here and steadily progressing up through the ranks in the point structure? I know you've been looking better and better every week now. Is that due to some new motor techniques, some suspension work, taking it easy and knowing that when you got to be there when that checkered flag flies and make it all count? What is your program?
Going out and having fun.
Going out having fun. Well, that probably is inexpensive since how you're in the winner's circle here.
That's it. I just go out there and have fun. Haven't done too much more to the car. The car's still set up the way it was before. I staggered it a little bit, and just going out there and seeing if I can take the checkered flag.
All right, little secret here. Who's your engine builder?
I can't read the little emblem on the motor. It just says rebuild engine, and it's got a stock number. I don't know who built the engine.
One of those GM power plants, though, right?
I think so.
All right. Any tricks for your competitors here tonight? And who do you look? Who is your top competition for this night, August 12th?
Well, I'm looking at Speedy Steve Cargill. He's the one I'm chasing after.
Well, you caught him last week. He went out with a broken axle.
Yeah, I didn't catch him. He didn't make the main, and it's unfortunate for him, fortunate for me, but I wish he would have made it so I could have tried to catch him.
All right, I'll tell you what, it's a pleasure talking to you, Jumpin' Jim. Deedy, number 66, the Oldsmo Bubble. Good luck to you, my friend.
Thanks.
Here you can see the black Oldsmobile barbecue for you. The black number 66 out of the hobby division. Hello, race fans. Here you are, the race doctor, pit side with Ryan Cole. Ryan, how you doing, bud?
Pretty good. It's good to be here.
Great. Nice to have you here, by golly. Ryan running out of the IMCA division, car number 4, been up on the number 1 spot in the national points chase. And how you doing in that points chase, Ryan?
Well, right now there's a guy from Michigan, Rick Stout, getting us a good run, but we're doing our best out here to try to make as many races as we can, try to win all of them, but it's getting exciting. It's going to come down to the very end who's going to win it.
And I know you got to have a lot of races under your belt to qualify and get enough points amassed to be in that #1 position. Of course, Bakersfield's own Scott Pounds took the title last year as a national champion, and he was traveling all over the countryside. How are you doing that with your time allowance to travel and try to get as many races in that you can?
It's real tough to try to make all the races, but we've made over 50 this year, and we got about 15 more. So at the end of the year, it gets tough on you, but you're glad to see the year over with at the end. So it's getting tough.
Well, I can understand that. You know, I heard a little birdie tell me something here a little while ago that last week you're running up at the Hanford Speedway and you got a little airborne, did a little flip up in the air. What was that all about?
Well, it was one of them first lap deals that the couple cars spun out on the bottom. I went around, tried to go around them on the top, and I caught a wheel and just launched me straight in the air and came down on the roof. And it did tear up the car that bad, though. Hopefully we'll find out tonight how bad it was.
So physically you're okay? It didn't do anything to your head? Your mechanical portion of the car looks okay? Looks like you're ready to go out and do it then?
Yeah, I had a headache for a while, but that was about it.
I used to have an ex-wife said she had a headache. I said, all right, it's okay. I know a lot of women with a purse full of aspirin. Anyway, who do you have for your sponsors for 1995, Ryan?
E&D Trucking is our main sponsor. They're the ones that help us out all the time. And Santa Maria Diesel, Santa Maria Driveline, Southern Counties Oil. We just picked up a new sponsor, Performance Fabrication. They're putting a skin on the car for the rest of the year, so hopefully we can get them a little advertisement.
Well, that's very great. That's one of our purposes, of course, is to bring all these race videos to you, the race fans, car owners, drivers, and most important, those guys that help pay the bucks, of course, the sponsors. Your pit crew for 1995, it appears that you got about what you had in 94, and I believe that's pretty close to family, is it not?
Yeah, it's always been me, my grandpa, and my dad, and we have a lot of fun together. We work on the car all week together, and we spend a lot of time together.
I tell you what, that is great. The love you have there, the bonding between 3 generations, your grandfather, father, and yourself. Are you married? Have any little offspring yourself?
Nope, I'm single, and I hope to be that way for a couple more years.
All right, there you go, ladies. But are you shopping? That's the key. You don't have to, you know, end it, but are you shopping?
Oh, yeah, just like anybody else.
You and me too, bud. We're both looking for a good one. All right, I tell you what, here we are, race fans. We're going to go up on top side here, check the action. Ryan, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Wish you the best. Go out and kick some booty tonight.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you in the infield at the end of the night.
Very good. We'll find him in the winner's circle. Ryan Cole out of the IMCA Modifieds. We can take a look at the car here. Red number 4 that's been dominant in the IMCA points race nationally all over the United States. Round 1 on the pole. The 04 car out of Lake Isabella. Big hand for Chad Henry. Outside front row, you pick up the number 52 car. He comes out of Bakersfield. That's Wild Bill Hammonds. Second row inside, you pick up the 44 car. This guy represents Hanford, California. Big hand for Ed Nichols. Second row outside, the yellow number 2 car. He comes out of Bakersfield. He's known as the Flying Hawaiian. Big hand for Roger Remy Jr. Third row inside, the lady driver, sponsored by Performance Machine, known as Lacey Laura Ferris. The number 50 car out of Bakersfield, your driver, Wayne Kaufman, though that 50 is not the normal 50 that we see on the track. But we'll call him Wayne Kaufman because that's the only name I have here. The next row inside, the number 49 car. Out of Shafter, your driver, Lloyd Reed. The 01 car comes to us out of Greenfield. Big hand for Billy the Boot Outhouse Irwin. Sponsored in there by Westside Surlube. And then your number 1 points man right now on the chart with 942 points. Sponsored in there by Sutton Chevron, Cargill Welding, and American National Insurance. Big hand for Speedy Steve Cargill. There you go. So that makes up round 1 qualifier, the starting grid here tonight for the hobby division. Your starter on the pole, Dennis Tinker, indicating to the drivers that we are about ready to go green. Like it's fun to do each and every race night, you tap your buddy next to you. See if you can pick the winner of this round 1 qualifier. Make a little friendly wager on a cold Budweiser or a tri-tip sandwich or a Subway sandwich. I've got my wager laid down. Lights out. We're coming into turn 4. You'll hear the RPM pick up a bit. Track's still wet, so it'll be a little slippery. Boot Outhouse Irwin getting loose coming out of the main chute. But up front, it's Wild Bill Hammonds. Look out, the 4 car hooked up, coming to the front, started pushing a little bit. Chad Henry. The Flying Hawaiian, Roger Remy Jr. running second, gets toe-nailed by the number 44 car of Ed Nichols. The Flying Hawaiian, Roger Remy, gathers it back up, and Nichols with a power move going into 3. Nichols pushes the track real wet right now. Roger Remy takes that second position back as Chad Henry gets into the back quarter panel of Ed Nichols. Lacey Laura Ferris in that 5th position on the track. I believe the top 4 will go directly to the main. Look out, turn 2 action, Steve Cargill and the 04 of Chad Henry. And down the main chute here, the 50 car of Wayne Kaufman tasting a bit of that inside wall. And we go green. Wild Bill Hammonds on the lead. The Flying Hawaiian, Roger Remy running second. Here comes Speedy Steve Cargill. Cargill with a bit on the high side. The track's real wet up there, Steve-O. Hang on to her, buddy. Cargill, no effort on the high side on an early wet track. He's going to be a monster during the main. Remy able to hold him off. And up comes Steve Cargill. Billy Irwin taking a little shortcut out of turn 1. Top 4 will go to the main. Laura Ferris is on the bubble and Lloyd Reed on the attack. Billy Irwin pushing a little bit as he put the brakes on to avoid hitting Laura Ferris. Laura Ferris now working the backside of the yellow number 2 of Roger Remy Jr. And Billy the Boot Irwin now coming into turn 1 on the low side. Laura Ferris goes up high. Turn 3 action. Your leader was 6 laps down. White flag will come out this time. Wild Billy Hammonds, one more time to go. Now the question is, can he hold off that veteran, Speedy Steve Cargill? Wild Bill Hammonds has got another corner to go. Crazy Kenny Hammonds is saying put it to him, and here's your winner, Wild Billy Hammond. Speedy Steve Cargill second. The Flying Hawaiian Roger Remy third. And 4th goes to Billy Outhouse Irwin. So a real fine drive by that rather newcomer, the 52 of Billy Hammonds. We just call him Wild Bill. Number 35 car, representing Hanford, your lady driver, Ruthie Reed. Second row inside the number 69 car, Virgil Riddle. Then you pick up the 14 car of Rick Henderson, the 25 of Roger Herrick, the 08 of Jay Marks. We go green. The number 6 car, of course, that is Dana Ritchie out of Porterville. Jay Marks high up close to the wall, turn 1. Ruthie Reed, wrong way. Ruthie gets spun in turn 2. And will go yellow as her cosmetics on the left side a little frayed open. Holy mackerel. To pick up the green out of turn 4. Ruthie Reed sits on top of him. Virgil Riddle next. Jay Marks, Rick Henderson, Dana Ritchie, Roger Herrick, and Ramblin' Ron Schmidt. We're on the green. Here we go. Oh, look out. Mark Roberts on the bottom side. Wrong way. Ruthie Reed gets crossed up again. Takes Jay Marks to the wall, and Mark Roberts out of the groove. And up comes Virgil Riddle. Look at Henderson. He gets sideways into turn 4. Hammer down going to the front. Yay, money. Christmas. Oh, boy. The 14 car of Henderson. All kinds of power. And here comes the front yard dog, Roger Herrick, up to second. Mark Roberts still on the bubble, but he put in a challenge for that third spot, and Mark Roberts now up to third. Virgil Riddle with smoke coming out that right front tire. He looks like he may have a ball joint let go on that right front. It's Henderson and Herrick out of turn 4. Mark Roberts now to turn 4, running third. Ramblin' Ron Schmidt fourth. Jay Marks fifth, and Dana Ritchie. Marks comes to the inside and hammers on the inside door of Ramblin' Ron Schmidt. Jay Marks with a nice move out of turn 1, makes a hammer shot on Schmidt. 6 laps down, 2 to go. Dana Ritchie and Ramblin' Ron get hooked up under the lamppost pizza sign. And a white flag now being shown to your leader, the 14 car of Rick Henderson. One more time around. Mark Roberts hanging on to third. Here's your winner now off turn 4, the 14 car, Rick Henderson. The 25 car second, that's Roger Herrick. A fight for third, it's Mark Roberts and Jay Marks. And the hook takes third. Jay Marks, your fourth final transferee. And Ron Schmidt finishing up fifth. The 6 car of Dana Ritchie, next car finished. That was round 2. Next up will be round 3 qualifier for the hobby stock division. There's your winner going off the track. All right, got an official over in turn 1 straightening up one of the lights up there. Here's this qualifying grid. Sitting out on the pole, you pick up the number 43 car. Comes to us out of Bakersfield. Big round of applause for Tim Scott. Outside front row, a popular driver here at the Bakersfield Speedway. You find the number 77 car, Mr. Ben Mock. Next car in the lineup, the number, well, I believe that's the 42 car of Marvin Least. Then you pick up the 8B of Jim Perry. The number 33 car, sponsored by BC Ray Tires. The Green Machine, big hand for Jim and Jerry Hortlacker. The number 79 car, next in the lineup, out of Ridgecrest, big hand for Michael Holmes. The number 16 car, the young 17-year-old out of Porterville, big hand for the 16H Jeff Houstons. And the 01X Mark Essery. Essery, sponsored by Sun Valley Oil, but first into turn 1 off turn 2, Ben Mock. Cars 3 abreast off turn 2. That's Mark Essery and Marvin Least. Jim Perry running second, now starting to reel Ben Mock in up front. Loose tire into turn 4. Ben Mock loses a right rear.
He out there and the front fender's messed up pretty bad, and he's wanting to know if he has to run it to the main event.
So your leader, Ben Mock, loses his right rear in turn 4, and he rushes into the pit. So the 8B of Jim Perry inherits the lead, followed by the 43 of Tim Scott in the 8B, followed by Tim Scott. We go on green. Come on up, I'll get you one. Jim Perry, your leader off turn 2. Walk release, it just makes a camera shot. Tim Scott running second. Horlacher, a little smoke as he goes into 3. Houston's right on his backside. Top 4 qualify to the main. Houston pushed hard in turn 2 and now comes back up on power on the top side of Horlacher, and right behind him Michael Holmes. Behind Holmes you have the 01X of Mark Essery, and then Marvin Least 5 laps down, this time past the flag stand. Jerry Horlacher goes off the track. The red 79 of Holmes is on the bubble. He's the 4th transferee. Can he hang on to hold it? 6 down, 2 to go. And your starter, Dennis Tinker, waving the white flag, indications we have 1 more lap to go. Here you can see the red 43 of Tim Scott trying to reel your leader in. 8B Jim Perry. Here they come off turn 4. Oh, Perry got sideways and Jim Perry hangs on for the win. Tim Scott second. Whale of a duel for 3rd, and Houston hangs on. And your 4th and final transferee, the 79 of Mr. Holmes, the 79 car, Michael Holmes. I wonder if he's related to the other famous Holmes, Larry. And here you can see the winner now going off the track, the number 8B Hobby Stock, Jim Perry. C&L Auto Wrecking, Cargill's Welding. Your driver, Flipper Don Cargill. The 37 car sponsored in by Bleacher Bums. Nails by Lori Big Hand for Gentleman, Tim Bewley. Tied for first in points is the black number 66 car, Jumpin' James Deedy. We're on the green. Oh, Adam Wren gets hung up with Reed. They both go into the wall in turn 1. Off turn 2, your leader is Jerry Morgantini. The 16 car is Danny Lewis, currently running 4th. Top 4 go to the main event. Flipper Don Cargill on the high side out of turn 2. A battle with Jerry Morgantini, and Cargill makes the transition. Deedy made the pass. He's up to that 4th and final transfer spot. Tim Bewley gets knocked a little loose, and Danny Lewis makes the pass. He's up to 4th now. Your leader off turn 4, Don Cargill, then James Deedy. Sponsored in by Al's Radiator Service and You Pick, You Save. Deedy starting to come back on Cargill as they go down the back chute into turn 3. Cargill up high, Deedy down low. Danny Lewis is on the bubble, trying to get on the high side of Jerry Morgantini. Opens the door, and up comes gentleman Tim Bewley. Bewley now on the bubble. Running 6, you pick up the number 30 car. Your rival is Virgil Morgan out of Lindsay. And here comes James Deedy with a muscle move out of 4, and he makes the pass. The Oldsmobile passes the Chevrolet. James Deedy, powered by a 350 Chevrolet, kicks the white flag. One more time to go. Cargill, sponsored by Southwest Garage, and up in smoke turn 2. Frank Reed loses it. Looks like a motor might have gone away on that 53 car. Here's your winner, jumping James Deedy. Cargill second, Bewley third, and Danny Lewis fourth. Jerry Morgantini fifth. And then the 30 car, Virgil Morgan and Adam Wren. Next up, IMCA Modified Round 1 qualifier. So there's your winner, the dog catcher jump, and James Deedy wins a qualifier here tonight, tied for first in points. Anticipation of a starting grid here on the pole. Out of Taft, California, the 08, Jay Barrett. Outside him, out of Port Hueneme, the number 70 of Bob McMahon. Then the 26 car of Gary Brannon. Lights are going green, and we're on the green. The number 18, Tom Bowser. The number 6 car, Current Bay. Oh, into turn 1, Tom Bowser lost the handle on it, backed it in hard into turn 1. There he sits, lame in the upper groove, and we go yellow. He was currently registered in the top 5 in the point strucker for the national points chase. And then you look down on the track in turn 1, the red number 4, that is Ryan Cole out of Santa Maria, currently your number 1 points man in the IMCA Modifieds. I believe he's tied with one of the drivers out of Michigan. Then, of course, the number 6 car is Darren Smotherman, current points leader here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Pole sitter, Jay Marks. Jay Marks. The 08 is Jay Barrett. Lights out, RPM starting to build. Your starter, Tinker, looks him over. We're on the green. Bob McMahon sticks it deep into turn 1. Your leader. Here comes Ryan Cole on the high side. Oh, Cole has got the power here tonight. Ryan Cole hooked up and going to the front. Ryan Cole sets it side with Bob McMahon, loses a handle at the apex of 3 and 4. Gary Brannon up to take over second. Darren Smotherman on the high side of McMahon. And your leader way up in turn 1, Ryan Cole. Darren Smotherman with a muscle move out of turn 2 underneath of Gary Brannon. Brannon holds him off. Pushes up high, opens the door. Side by side off 4. The 26 car of Brannon sticks it into turn 1. Takes back second place. Smotherman underneath coming off turn 2. Side by side into turn 3. Race for second. Oh, Smotherman tries to get under him and can't pull the trigger. Smotherman trying to put the mustard on the doggy down the back chute. Still side by side off turn 4. Brannon has that car for sale and it's hooked up looking good. Ryan Cole, still your leader in turn 4, is going to get the white flag this time around. What a race for that second spot, and here comes Smotherman. Ho! Smotherman had the weenie in the bun and couldn't make it stick. And into turn 3, your winner, Ryan Cole. Who's it going to be? Smotherman, Brannon. It's Brannon. Smotherman 3rd, Bob McMahon 4th, and Jay Barrett. Oh boy. Whew, Ryan Cole ran away with it, but a fight on the track between the 26 car of Brannon and the 6 car of Darren Smotherman. Starting on the pole. The number 87 car, Buck Cox out of Bakersfield. The 112, Brian Gray. The number 4 is George C. Scott. The number 1 car, your 1994 national points champion, the Rocket Man, Scott Pounds. The number 16 car out of Porterville, big hand for Steve Smotherman. The number 5 car, he's a Superman. That is Scott Gatson. We're on the gas. Cox, your leader off turn 2. Gray running 2nd. Pounds 3rd. Smotherman 4th. Cox with a nice line into 3 and out of turn 4. That's your leader going into turn 2. Right on his backside now, the number 1 car, Scott Pounds. Pounds looks to the inside, the door closes. Smotherman all over the rear bumper of Brian Gray. Smotherman in the yellow 16 car, currently running 4th. Buck Cox holds it down tied into 4. Pounds looks underneath him. Cox holds that tight line and Pounds keeps trying to get under him. Five laps down, 3 to go. Cox gets sideways, opens the door, and immediately closes it. A great drive by that 87 car. Buck Cox gets loose a little bit. Cox showing him how the hog eats a cabbage here, making Pounds stay on his back bumper. Oh, Cox opens the door, and there he is, Pounds. He shows you how the national championship was won. He waited for a mistake, and when it happened, he was there to grab it. Scott Pounds, the number 1 car, now in the lead. Here comes your winner out of 4, Scott Pounds. Buck Cox 2nd, Brian Gray 3rd, Smotherman 4th, and George C. Scott 5th. Well, that's how he won the national championship, folks. He waited and waited and waited, and finally the mistake was made when the door opened into 3. And there he is, he took it, Scott Pounds. All right, here we go, round 1 qualifier. On the pole, you look up and find the black 3B. Big hand for Ron Malone. Outside front row, sponsored in by American Truck Parts and Eagle Brand Snacks. Your 1994 Driver of the Year, big hand for Billy Noland. The 52 car, last week's main event win. Your Chewy Mesquite Broiler Special, big hand for James the Hammer Hammonds. The 78 car of Ralph Cook. We're on the green. Also in the lineup, the number 98 car, Charles Paul. The number 21 car is David Pearson out of Ridgecrest. The number 7M in the lineup also. Kenny Mann. Your leader, the number 91, Billy Nolan. Up comes Ralph Cook in a nice power move on a top side of Hammer. Ralph Cook makes a nice entry into one, gets underneath the 3 car of Malone. Got sideways a little bit, and Ralph Cook sticks it deep into turn 3. Malone on top, Cook on the bottom. Malone up high, opens the door, falls off to the backside. Ralph Cook looks like a rocket here tonight, up to second. The 91 car there going into turn 1, Billy Nolan. James the Hammer Hammonds running second. Charles Paul with smoke out that 98 car running 4th. Kenny Mann running 5th. David Pearson and then Ron Malone. Charles Paul with a lot of smoke coming out his car now, as well as Ronnie Malone. White flag action this time to your leader, Billy Noland, as Ralph Cook has reeled him in. Ralph Cook 2 car lengths behind. Cook gets a nice hook into 1. Nolan a little loose off 2. Can Nolan hang on? Cook closes the door into 3. Here comes your winner, the number 91, Billy Nolan. Cook, sponsored by BC Ray Tires, gets second. James the Hammer Hammonds, then Charles Paul, and then Kenny Mann. Oh boy, those guys are quick tonight.
Main event winners. Your list of stuff for the prizes.
Hey, I didn't get a number. I need to make sure I went ahead. I didn't get a number. I need a new hat.
Abbott's Crankshaft, Manzella Chiropractic. Big hand for Rick Childress. The black number 2, Scott Pounds Motorsports, your driver, Daryl Hood. The 79 car, Jim Harker. Oh, look out down the main chute, the 35 car. Kyle King lost the whole handle on it. And Rick Childress up in turn 2, parking it. That is the 35 car, beautiful black Camaro. Kyle King out of Bakersfield. Also in the lineup, the white 17 car, your 94 track champion of Steve Noland. Lights out, we're looking for a complete restart now. Coming out of, I know we're having too much fun up here. Setting the pace into turn 3, your driver, Lonnie Welch, brings the RPM up. We go green. Oh yeah, the 44 car Childress. He gets hit hard in the backside by the number 2, Daryl Hood, and hangs on to the handle. Hood hit him hard in turn 2, and Childress able to hang on to it. Bumper about to come off of the 35 car, Kyle King. Your leader, Rick Childress, Daryl Hood second, Lonnie Welch third, Steve Nolan fourth, Jim Harker fifth. Hood and Childress in the apex of 3 and 4. Childress hangs on to it. Hood gets a nose underneath his quarter panel. Side by side into turn 1. Childress pushed up high, opens the door, and Hood takes control. Daryl Hood now your leader into turn 3. Lonnie Welch runs 3rd. Steve Nolan 4th. Jim Harker 5th. Carl Nolan Jr. 6th on the track. There you can see Carl Jr. trying to get underneath Harker in turn 2. White flag action one more time around. Rick Childress holding on to a 2nd place run behind your leader Hood. Harker down out of turn 2, had a shot at Nolan. And here's your winner, Daryl Hood. Childress 2nd, Welch 3rd, Nolan 4th, Harker 5th, and Carl Nolan Jr. 6th. So your starter, Dennis Tinker, goes down and gives them. On the pole, you pick up the number 32 car representing Taft, California. Big hand for the man in purple, Charlie Jones. Sponsored in their course by J&S Auto Parts. Outside front row out of Lindsay. Big hand for Kevin Collier. The number 4 car, the yellow Camaro, sponsored in by Chad Jeffries Race Car Paints. Ed's 4x4. Big hand for Super Phil Matthews. Outside second row, I believe that's the number 19 car. 19 car is Ronnie Sanders. Next row inside, you pick up the green flag. We're on the green. The number 20 car also in the lineup is Mike Berry out of Lompoc. And then you pick up the number 10 car of James Cornelius. Your leader, Kevin Collier, out of turn 4, followed by Charlie Jones and then Ronnie Sanders. And the number 10 of James Cornelius. Charlie Jones loses the handle out of turn 4. Kevin Collier with a big 10-car length advantage. The number 20 car gets loose in turn 1 and turn 2. Mike Berry out of Lompoc. Here's your leader off turn 4, the red 18 of Kevin Collier. Collier out of Lindsay, California. White flag action being given to your leader of Kevin Collier. Ronnie Sanders running 2nd. The number 10 of James Cornelius 3rd. And your winner, Kevin Collier. Ronnie Sanders 2nd. James Cornelius 3rd. The number 20 of Mike Berry 4th. And the number 5 of Charlie Jones in the number 32 car. And there's your winner, showing a lot of muscle here tonight, that red Camaro out of Lindsay, Kevin Collier.
See? You see what I mean? See that shit?
And for Mike Hood, the number 23 car, driving that car here tonight, Mike Collins. The yellow number 32 car, Greg Clark. The number 1 car, Scott Pounds, and the number 32, Scott Kuster. Collins all over the backside of Hood. Mike Hood still holds down the lead. Collins second, Greg Clark third, Scott Kuster fourth, and Scott Pounds, your current points leader. On the high side out of turn 2, Mike Collins makes the pass. The 23 car, Mike Collins, currently third in the points chase, up front leading. Mike Hood in the white 44 car. Greg Clark in the yellow 32 running third. Scott Kuster in the blue 32 running fourth. And your current points leader in the black number 1 car, Scott Pounds, running way back in fifth. White flag action one more time around. The question is, can Mike Collins hold back that hard-charging number 44 of Hood? 2 corners to go, up front into turn 3. And Collins hangs on for the win. Hood second, Clark third, Kuster fourth, and Scott Pounds, with a lot of mechanical problems, ends up fifth. Scott Pounds in the black number 1 car, your current points leader, not looking real good thus far tonight, but a whale of a quick job by the 23 car, Mike Collins. For 1995, on the pole in the black number 88, out of Caliente, big hand for John Hill. Outside front row, the number 6 car comes to us out of Trona, California, big hand for Larry Blake. Inside second row, the number 28 car, the Miller Genuine Draft Special, your driver Joe Whitlow, and then the 51 of McCorder, the 86 of Chad Reichenbach, and the number 41 of Ron Meyer. We're on the green. Just not enough time. All this great racing action here, and coming out of 2, you can see the hot pursuit as Larry Blake in the lead, Hill second, Eric McCorder third. Joe Whitlow running fourth. Ron Myers on a muscle move into turn 1, gets underneath Whitlow as well as Reichenbach. But the class act on the track right now is the number 6 of Larry Blake as he comes off turn 4. Hooked up, starting to stretch that lead on the 80 car of John Hill out of Caliente, California. Ron Meyer running fourth, getting a challenge by Chad Reichenbach. Reichenbach running third, working on the backside of Hill. McCorder sits back in that third position. Ron Myers fourth, and Chad Reichenbach. They'll pick up the white flag this time around. Reichenbach gets a piece of Ron Myers. Two more corners for your leader, and Larry Blake takes the win. John Hill second, Eric McCorder third, Ron Meyer fourth, and Chad Reichenbach, not used to running in the back of the pack, settles in for fifth. Oh boy. Boy, gave him a little goose as he came into turn one on the start of it. Raised his eyebrows a little bit, got a little bit more RPM off the corner, and away he went. Larry Blake, your winner. Outside front row, you pick up the white number 7 in the lineup. Comes to us out of Bakersfield, sponsored in by Bookout Motors. Your driver, Greg Bookout. We go green. In the 02 car, you've got Marcus Mallett, the 74 car of Jeff Hilton, and the 303 of Buck Weaver. Oh, look out. Bookout climbs the wall down the main chute and sticks to it, trying to get his car off the track, and finally clears the lane. Abernathy holds the lead. Marcus Mallett on the high side. Jeff Hilton down low. Abernathy in that yellow 83 car. Marcus Mallett in the 02, and Jeff Hilton. A muscle move out of 2. Hilton makes the pass going into 3. The Ridge runner, Marcus Mallett, drops to the low groove out of 4. Abernathy drops off the pace. Hilton moves up to get away from him, and Mallett takes the lead. Oh, look out. Hilton got in the backside of Mallett. Sound like the rear end went away, and they all barked up into each other with Hilton and Abernathy all got crossed up. A left rear flat on the Hilton car. Marcus Mallett lays dead in the water. Turn 2, debris in turn 1. Abernathy drops off the pace. Hilton moves up to get away from him, and Mallett takes the lead. Oh, look out. Hilton got in the backside of Mallett. Sound like the rear end went away. Semi-main. Now they go to the main event, top 4. I believe top 4 to the main event. On the pole, the 01 car, Billy the Boot Outhouse Irwin. Outside of him, Jay Marks. Then you pick up the lady driver, Laura Ferris. In the 40 car, the 32 car is Ramblin' Ron Schmidt. Then the 49 car of Lloyd Reed, the 69 car of Virgil Riddle, then the 6 car of Dana Ritchie. Then you pick up the number 50 car of Wayne Kaufman. Behind him you pick up the 44 car of Ed Nichols. The 35 car is Ruthie Reed. And then finally the last one in the back row, the 04 car. Chad Henry out of Lake Isabella. How you doing there, Mr. Hergendorfer? Round 1 semi-main for the Hobby Division. Lights out. We'll take the top 4 qualifiers to the main. All others will be relegated to the trailer. Billy Irwin sets the pace, and we go green. J Marks on the high side, sticks it deep into one, out of turn 2, your leader. Remember, keep in mind the track is a little slippery. They put some water down. And everybody makes it through. We've got 1 lap down, 11 laps to go. Billy the Boot Outhouse Irwin in the blue Monte Carlo, the 01 now running second. Ramblin' Ron Schmidt third. And Lacey Laura Ferris on the bubble. On the top side of Laura Ferris is Lloyd Reed in the 49 car. Now moves up for an attempt to pass into 3. And makes the pass. Ferris opens the door, got a little loose in turn 2. Your leader now into turn 2 is the 08 of J Marks. Billy Irwin running second, Ramblin' Ron Schmidt third, and Lloyd Reed now fourth and on the bubble. Cargill. Schmidt, Reed running third and fourth. Your leader there off turn 4, the 08 of J Marks, looking good here in this first semi. Casey Mosier to the press box. Casey Mosier to the press box. Your leader now looking at lap traffic into turn 2. J Marks gets a piece of him. That's the 04, Chad Henry out of Lake Isabella. Ramblin' Ron Schmidt. A lot of heat on his backside. White flag action. Oh, Ruthie Reed climbs the wall down the main chute, hits the wall into turn 1. And your winner now coming off turn 4, the white 08 J Marks. And second is the 01 of Billy Irwin. Third is Ramblin' Ron Schmidt, and fourth is the 49 car of Lloyd Reed. The number 6 car of Dana Ritchie finishes up 5th. He will be first alternate for the main event. Pick up the number 79 car, comes to us out of Ridgecrest. Big hand for Michael Holmes. The number 16 car, Danny Lewis. The 01X is Mark Essery. Outside of Essery, the 76P of Jerry Morgantini. Then the 42 of Marvin Least. Outside of Marvin Least, you pick up the number 30 car, Virgil Morgan out of Lindsay. The number 90 car, the Raging Cajun, Scott Trahan, and then Adam Wren in the 24 car. We're on the green. Top 4 to the main event. Wren gets hammered in the corner by Scott Trahan and Marvin Least. A tire broke loose in turn 2. Adam Wren got sent around sideways. Top 4 to the main event. Wren gets hammered in the corner by Scott Trahan and Marvin Least. A tire broke loose. And we go green. Michael Holmes, your leader. Danny Lewis on the high side by side into turn 2. And Holmes comes out, your leader. Lewis on the high side, putting a muscle move on Holmes. Mark Essery running third. Still side by side out of turn 2. It's Lewis now with the charge into turn 3. And Lewis takes the lead. Lewis opens the door, he's up high, and Holmes settles in for second. Jerry Morgantini in a strong third now, hitting on the back quarter panel of Holmes. Mark Essery in the 0-1 car, running fourth. Scott Trahan fifth. Mark Essery, Sun Valley Oil sponsored car, lost the handle out of turn 4, slides back to that 5th spot. Six down, 6 to go. It's Lewis, your leader, Holmes second, Morgantini running third, Scott Trahan fourth. The 42 car about to go a lap down has all kinds of handling problems. Morgantini lost the right rear. Tire rolls past the flag stand up close to the wall and is going to cross up into the straightaway in turn 1. You're not supposed to be up here. We're going.
Frank and Ricky.
And we're back on the green. Your leader, Danny Lewis. Michael Holmes, a strong second. Mark Essery running third. Oh, Lewis up in smoke out of 4. White lap action. He fell 1 lap short. He may have seen that white come out and try to keep on going around, but here comes your winner, I believe it was, the Mark Essery, or is it the number 79 of Michael Holmes. Those will all transfer to the main.
Did you wish a happy birthday to Jerry
Horlack, yeah.
Just couldn't say Jerry blow up Horlacker.
I did earlier, but I'll do it again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
Somebody sent it. Is he up here somewhere? Scheduled on the pole, you pick up the 08 car out of Taft, California. Jay Barrett. Next to Jay Barrett, you pick up the 87 car out of Bakersfield, Buck Cox. Second row inside, the number 70 car out of Port Hueneme, Bob McMahon. The number 1112 car out of Bakersfield, big hand for Brian Gray. Third row inside, you pick up the 26 car, a real strong competitor here tonight. Your driver, Gary Brannon. Next to Brannon, the number 4 car of George C. Scott. Fourth row inside, the number 1 car, your 94 national champion, the Rocket Man, Scott Pounds. The number 6 car, current point leader, Darren Smotherman. The 16 car, Steve Smotherman. The number 4 car, Ryan Cole, we go green. Buck Cox off turn 2, your leader. Oh, look at Brian Gray go up to second in a quick fashion. 3 abreast off 4. Darren Smotherman goes up into turn 2 up on the high side. Bob McMahon running second now off turn 2. McMahon and Gray, look out, a wreck in turn 2. Oh, McMahon went high, came back down and collected Brian Gray, and Scott Pounds passed him. And in the back chute, Tom Bowser off the pace. Turn 4, Scott Pounds off the pace, and we go yellow. Holy mackerel. Well, 18 bobbled a little bit, and he came lame in the main chute. Darren Smothern, prior to that, went up lame in turn 2. He got it refired. Now freshness is the taste. We're on the green. Buck Cox, your leader, Gary Brannon running second. Cox gets sideways out of 4. Gary Brannon up high. And Brannon settles back into second. Contact by Steve Smotherman and Brian Gray. Smotherman now up to third. Cole up to 5th, up to 4th rather, the 08 car down a lap. A wheel broke off of the 16 car Steve Smotherman as he got hooked up with Darren Smotherman. Pulled the cap right off the car. Your leader getting sideways in 4. And here comes Ryan Cole. Cole up to 3rd. Ryan Cole up to 3rd underneath of Gary Brannon. Brannon able to hold him off. Look out down the main chute. 3 abreast. Darren Smotherman, Tom Bowser, and Bob McMahon. Look out on the turn 1. It's Doug Thompson. Thompson got tangled with Scott Gatson down the main chute, and Thompson took it for a ride, and he got crossed up into turn 1. Your leader, Buck Cox, Gary Brannon, and then you pick up Ryan Cole and George C. Scott. We're on the green. Cox sideways out of 4. Brannon up next to him. Brannon hits him hard as he goes into turn 1 and spins him out. Brannon picked up that inside burr and hit him for a looper. And I believe we're going to go with a black flag. Black flag given to the 26 car of Gary Brannon. for spinning your leader out, the 87 of Buck Cox. He came into turn 1. Cox sideways out of 4. Brandon up next to him. Brandon hits him hard as he goes into turn 1 and spins him out. We're looking for the restart. Ryan Cole is your leader now, as 26 car Gary Brandon has been disqualified. Jay Barrett loops it out of 4. He ends up in the infield. The 1112 of Brian Gray and the 16 of Steve Smotherman. Lights out. We're looking for the restart. And we got the green. Back racing. Darren Smotherman out of turn 4. Got a look underneath of George C. Scott, the number 4 car. Smotherman still, turn 2. Brian Gray, Steve Smotherman, and Bob McMahon tangle horns, and they've got traffic locked up. Still only 10 laps down. Ten down, 10 to go. We're on the green. Darren Smotherman running 3rd, working the backs. Oh, look out! Smotherman and George C. Scott. Smotherman was working on the back on the green. Darren Smotherman running 3rd, working the backs. Oh, look out! Smotherman and George C. Scott. In front of Darren Smotherman. If our scoreboard is correct, it indicates 10 down, 10 to go. And we go back on the green. Tom Bowser, look how strong he is all of a sudden. Right behind Ryan Cole. Buck Cox 3rd. Steve Smotherman coming up challenging now as Bowser gets sideways in turn 3. Bowser on the high side, gets on the gas real early, builds that RPM up, coming off 4. A lot of power. Tom Bowser starting to run the ridge ride. A wreck out of turn 4, a right rear flat on George C. Scott, making connection with the 55 car of Doug Thompson. As he runs that high side, can he overtake that national points leader as we go green? Cole down low, Bowser up high. Bowser on the ridge route. Cole down low and Bowser with the RPM off 2. And Bowser makes the pass. A wreck in turn 2 with Bob McMahon and Jay Barrett. Up high this time, Bowser down low. $14 down, 6 to go. Getting sideways, Ryan Cole out of 4, running that high side along with Bowser. Now Smotherman and Cox, and Smotherman goes up high. All of them, the leaders, starting to run that upper groove now. comes your leader off turn 4. That'll be 16 down, 4 to go. Bowser up in the marbles in turn 1, and Steve Smotherman starting to reel him in now. There you can see Darren Smotherman in the 6 car making contact with Buck Cox over in 3 and 4. That is a race for 4th and 5th on the track. And Jay Barrett and Bob McMahon both spin in turn 2. White flag action this time around. Tom Bowser trying to hang on to 2nd place. I think he may have lost a motor. He wants to hang on for 2nd. Steve Smotherman right behind him, and here comes your winner off 4, Ryan Cole. Your winner, the number 4 of Ryan Cole. 2nd is Tom Bowser. 3rd, Steve Smotherman. Buck Cox 4th. Darren Smotherman 5th. And we'll go downstairs with an interview with our winner.
Test 1, 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner, Mr. Ryan Cole. How about a big hand for him? Ryan, nice drive. How did it feel out there? Pretty rough or what?
The track, at the beginning, the track was real good. The bottom was great, and as the race went on, the low groove went away, and the top groove was the one to be in. And everybody didn't know that until Tom Bowser got by me on the top side there. So after that, I moved up. The car seemed to work pretty good.
Yeah, Tom Bowser, 2 laps prior to making that pass on you, went to the high side and started making it work real good. He came off turn 2 and made that pass, and then right away I noticed that you and all the top 5 runners at that time jumped up to that 2nd group and were making it work. Tom Bowser, what happened to him, he got up into turn 1, he got in that heavy stuff, and it seemed to pull something out of that motor. It looked like his motor went away, but you were out front. And how many main event wins is this for 1995, Mr. Cole?
This is our 24th win, so we're real happy to have it here.
24 main event wins for 1995. Big hand for Ryan Cole!
Thank you.
All right, Ryan.
This 25-lap main event for the modified street. Lights out, we'll look for the green out of turn 4. The 34 car sitting on the pole is Lonnie Welch. He'll set the pace. Next to him, the 91 car of Billy Noland. And then Rick Childress and Kevin Collier. A lot of heat up front with James the Hammer Hammonds and Darrell Hood. Where go green? Still side by side as we come out of turn 2. Billy Nolan with the slight advantage into 3. Wet track, everybody pushing a little bit going into 4. And the 91 car, your leader, Billy Nolan. Kevin Collier now up to 2nd. Lonnie Welch 3rd. Darrell Hood 4th. Rick Childress 5th. Hood way up in the marbles, opens the door, and James the Hammer Hammonds makes the pass. Hammonds now to 5th. Kevin Collier with a pass into turn 3. Your leader. Look out, turn one action. Hood and Cook get tangled up. James the Hammer Hammond's running 5th. Rick Childress 4th. That's your leader off turn 4. The 18 car of Kevin Collier. Got a good 20 lengths advantage over the 91 car running second, Billy Nolan. Nolan got loose in turn 1. 3 abreast into 3, Hammer down low. Here comes Cook, Childress. Cook climbs on the top side of Welch. Welch hits Childress. Oh boy. Childress gets a piece of Welch in turn 2. And we go yellow on the track. Whoa boy, the number 10 car up in smoke. James Cornelius out of Porterville. 3 abreast into 3, Hammer down low. Here comes Cook, Childress. Cook climbs on the top side of Welch. Welch hits Childress. Oh boy, Childress gets a piece of Welch in turn 2. And the green flag flies, we're after it. The Hammer Hammond's on a muscle move into turn 1. Hammer down low, Billy Nolan up high. James the Hammer Hammond's coming off turn 2. He's got the lower edge of the RPM build-up. Hammer sticks it into turn 3, now up to 3rd. Spin out in turn 3. The 20 car of Mike Berry gathers it back up. Everything okay. Down the back chute out of turn 2. Super Phil Matthews, Ron Malone, and Charlie Jones all tangled up. Billy Nolan spins in turn 2, but the yellow flag had already been out for the 32 car of Charlie Jones and Ron Malone. We're back racing. 12 laps down, 8 to go. Rick Childress, the tire broke loose in turn 2. Right rear tire broke off of Rick Childress's car. And we go on the yellow. Right rear had broke off of his car as he entered into the apex of 1 and 2. Tire ends up in the middle of the infield, so Rick Childress will retire his car for the night. James the Hammer Hammond's now up to 2nd. This is a 20-lap feature, 8 more to go. The Hammer running 2nd, Nolan 3rd. Ralph Cook now trying to make a muscle move on Nolan. bobble just a little bit in 4, and he gets taken to the wall by Darrell Hood. Both of them make a clean move off the wall. Hood falls off the pace. Cook goes wild into turn 3. James the Hammer Hammonds loses a corner in turn 2. Right front flat on the black number 2 car of Darrell Hood. So that yellow will benefit Darrell Hood. It'll get, and we go on the green again. This will be a 20-lap main event. Shortened at 20 rather than 25. Ralph Cook with a nice muffle move coming into 3, gets underneath the 79 car Jim Harker. Ralph Cook now looking under the 55 of Carl Noland. Cook now running 7th. Gets past Noland, moves up to 6th. In front of him, the 98 car Charles Paul. Paul now with some RPM off turn 2, getting underneath the Ronnie Sanders into turn 3. Side by side, it's Charles, Paul, and Sanders. Drag strip race into turn 1. Sanders gives up that position. White flag action one more time around. Comes your winner out of turn 4, the 18 car Kevin Collier. Billy Nolan 2nd, Steve Nolan 3rd, Charles Paul 4th, Ronnie Sanders 5th, Ralph Cook 6th, Carl Nolan Jr., and then Jim Harker. Somebody just handing his trophy. With time constraints right now, we're going to go without the trophy presentation to your modified street stock main event winner, Kevin Collier. So Kevin Collier will Clark, Scott Kuster, Mike Collins, and Eric McCorder. We're on the green. That's the 32 car of Greg Clark.
Restart.
Greg Bookout. And we go on the green. Abreast through 2. Hilton with a pass moves up to 5th. John Hill spins out and loses it, and Mike Hood's the new leader. 3 abreast into turn 1. Pounds, Hilton, and Kuster. Pounds moved up to 4th in that movement. Scott Kuster, Reichenbach. Oh boy. 5-car pileup, turn 4. Chad Reichenbach, the 86 car, 32. Greg Clark, the 32 blue of Scott Kuster, the 41 of Ron Meyer, the 88 of John Hill. And Eric McCorder also got caught in that melee, ripped off his door and rear tail section. And we go on the green. Collins loses loose out of turn 2. Opens the door. Hilton 3 abreast into 3. Larry Blake up to 2nd. Mike Collins back to 3rd. Hilton and Pounds makes the pass. Pounds up to 4th. Hilton 5th. Joe Whitlow 6th. Jay Ellenberg 7th. And Larry Blake spins out. Whitlow 6th. Jay Ellenberg 7th. And Larry Blake spins out.
See that yellow car? I sure you got it on video.
And we're back on the green. Scott Pounds with a try to get underneath Collins. Didn't quite pull it off. Eric McCorder on the high side gets past Ron Myers. McCorder now up to 6th. McCorder working that ridge route. Gets past Joe Whitlow. McCorder now up to 5th. Spin out with Justin Abernathy out of turn 4 with a left tap from Chad Reichenbach. Your leader, Mike Hood, in the 44 car. Collins on the back bumper of Hood as he came out of turn 2. Collins looking underneath of Hood as they come off 4. And there's Scott Pounds. Pounds has muscled his way underneath Collins in turn 1. Collins gets twisted around. Pounds falls off the pace. Collins gets spun out. And Jeff Hilton passes. Scott Pounds off the pace. Scott Pounds to the infield. Eric McCorder up to 2nd. Jeff Hilton up to 3rd, and we go yellow on the track. McCorder on the high side. McCorder up out of turn 2 on the top. McCorder the fast car right now. McCorder trying to make a pass on Mike Hood. McCorder off turn 4 makes the pass. The 51 car of McCorder. Track condition has come to that setup, and he runs that ridge route and makes a pass up to the 1st position. Mike Hood on a comeback. Mike Hood underneath in turn 3. It's Hood trying to get it back. Eric McCorder hanging on. McCorder got sideways out of turn 4. McCorder runs the upper groove. Mike Hood down low. Looking at all the action up front is that 3rd place runner, the 74 car of Jeff Hilton. What a race up front as they come side by side out of 4. Eric McCorder up high. Mike Hood down low. And finally, Eric McCorder able to get a little breathing room as we got debris sitting up high out of the groove in turn 1. $15 down, 5 to go. Ron Myers running that 4th position. Chad Reichenbach 5th. And Greg Clark's got caught on the inside berm. Jeff Hilton with a muscle move in turn 2. Hilton down the backstretch. And Hilton gets by Hood. Hilton now up to second. Your leader, the 51 car into turn 1, McCorder. Hilton second. Ron Meyer third. Reichenbach now up to fourth. Joe Whitlow fifth. Something broken and gone away on Mike Hood's car. He goes off the track. Here comes Hilton out of turn 4. Hilton starting to get in the race all of a sudden. Hilton starting to reel your leader in McCorder. Hilton with a muscle move. Hilton makes the pass. He's got the lead. Jeff Hilton came clean into turn 4 and got underneath McCorder. The track setup has gone away for McCorder and has come to your leader, Hilton. White flag action one more time around. Here comes your winner out of turn 4, Jeff Hilton. McCorder second, Meyer third, Reichenbach fourth. And Joe Whitlow, I believe it is, finishing up fifth. Your unofficial rundown on the finish. Once again, your winner out there, the 74 car of Jeff Hilton. A nice pass as he come clean underneath out of turn 4. Jeff Hilton showing them how the hog eats the cabbage here tonight. .942 points, Speedy Steve Cargill. So happy birthday, Mom Louise and Chad, 25th. On the pole, the number 91 car, the double amputee, drives with a couple prostheses and a hook. He's nicknamed the Hook. Big hand for Mark Roberts. Outside front row, driving in that red machine, comes to us all the way out of Ridgecrest. Your driver, no, that's the number 43 car, Jim Scott. Then you pick up the 52 car of Wild Bill Hammonds, the number 2 of the Flying Hawaiian, Roger Remy Jr., Flipper Don Cargill. We go green. The 8B also in the lineup, Jim Perry. A broken wheel in turn 2. Somebody lost one. Tim Scott, the 43 car, lost a wheel. Tim Scott broke an axle is what it was. Your leader all out of front alone, Mark Roberts. All right, Mark. Roger Herrick up to second. Roger Herrick up to second. Right behind him, it's Wild Bill Hammonds and Rick Henderson now putting a move on him. Hammonds to the wall in turn 4. Hammonds, loose spot. Your leader, oh, Roger Herrick got spun by the 08 car of Jay Marks. And the 37 car, Tim Bewley, gets involved. Ramblin' Ron Schmidt gets hit in the rear end. Oh, Rick Henderson in turn 4 wall. Your leader, oh, Roger Herrick got spun by the 08 car of Jay Marks. And the 37 car, Tim Bewley, gets involved. Ramblin' Ron Schmidt gets hit in the rear end. Oh, Rick Henderson. Start as we come down the back chute. We're back on the green. The hook opens the door. J. Marks sticks it in. J. Marks hammers Mark Roberts going into turn 1. Roberts back to third. James Deedy up to second. Speedy Steve Cargill up to... Speedy Steve Cargill running on 7 cylinders. Here's your leader down the main chute. Jay Marks. James Deedy second. Flipper Don Cargill. Steve Cargill. Billy Boot Outhouse Irwin now working on the top side of Steve Cargill. And Lloyd Reed on the back side of him. The number 8B stuck in the infield. Jim Perry. We go yellow on the track as Roger Remy spins Roger Herrick out of the turn number 2. A lot of smoke coming out of that car parked over. That's the number 90 car of the Ragin' Cajun, Scott Trahan. Marks, Deedy, Cargill, Irwin. Cargill and Deedy lock horns. Cargill sticks it deep into 3 underneath Deedy. And Donnie Cargill makes the pass. Jay Marks, your leader, way out front. Ramblin' Ron Schmidt running 7th. Dana Ritchie running 8th, right on the back bumper of Schmidt. Mark Roberts into the infield. 13 down, 13 laps are down. White flag coming out to your leader, Jay Marks. And here comes your winner, 2 weeks in a row, Jay Marks. Don Cargill 2nd, Jim Deedy 3rd, Speedy Cargill 4th, Lloyd Reed 5th, Billy the Boot Outhouse Irwin 6th. Oh yeah.
Run down there.
and 11.
There he is, folks. Let him hear it 2 weeks in a row. All right, thank you, Mike Wood Photography out here taking a picture of this monster 2 weeks in a row. Whale of a job out there, Jay Marks. Tremendous amount of power. You're working your way through some adversity out there. The car's getting a little twisted up. Track looked like it was working pretty good in that second groove. Where did you find yourself the best running on your track here tonight?
It was real dry slick everywhere. There really wasn't a good spot, but just down low and trying to protect them.
I'll tell you what, you're doing it here, and that's the second week in a row. What's your secret? I mean, it's pretty tough to pull one back to back, and all of a sudden here you are, second time in the winner's circle.
Well, I'm just supposed to say, hey, thanks my pit crew, Mike Rivers, Jim Harker, and the girls. We did a great job again this week, and hopefully we can just keep repeating this.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your technology. What are you running under the hood for power, and what do you got in for transmission, and what kind of gears you're running?
Well, last week, like I told you, I had that inline 6 out of a Buick, but we did a little something different this year and this week, and we're just trying to deal with everybody else with the same 88 horsepower.
So you're running a 350 automatic transmission and maybe like a 308 rear end gear?
No comment on that, really.
You see, that's some of the technology that they don't want to share for the final drive, but there's your winner, big hand for Jay Marks. Holy mackerel, I hope everybody survived all the action out there.
All right, there you go. Another wild night out here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Definitely a full moon, and you know what that means for the active racing. Next Saturday night we have the SCRA Sprint cars and the California Dwarf cars, and we'll meet all you race fans right over at Lamppost Pizza, one of the key sponsors out here at the Bakersfield Speedway, of course, with Advanced Beverage Night here, along with Castrol Oil and Sun Valley Oil, your castor oil distributors, bringing it to you all the race action here at the Bakersfield Speedway. On behalf of Johnny Petrus, Doug Baton, your promoters, and myself, Mike Mosier, the race doctor, and California Raceway Video, we say good night to y'all. Take care, and may God bless each and every one of you. Good night, all, and I love racing. Yeah.